Hello and welcome to Stillness in Success. My name is Mustafa Nuristani, your host of the podcast program. And today I have a very interesting individual on the program. They are a change manager. Now, we have discussed about the field of change, and I have found the expert who's going to tell us what that means. So let's welcome Rosemary Monahan. Hi, Rosemary.
Hello.
It's nice to have you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, in Transcendental Meditation, we talk about change being the concept that is always there. Change is part of life, and through change, we find evolution. Through change, we find new experiences. And it's the non-changing aspect of life that supports the changing aspect. Now, when I see your title as the change manager, what does that mean? What are you changing?
Yeah, it's a big word. So essentially, I'm a consultant and I help organisations through transformations. So I help the organisation understand what that change is about, obviously, what are the goals, the benefits, and then I would work through a transformation program on how we take the organisation from where it is today and where it needs to go in the future. So I usually use the Kubla change approach, which is a curve that we use to understand, where the gaps are for the organisation at the different levels of the organisation. I tailor that program to manage change. Yeah.
Beautiful. Isn't it interesting? Because you see, a lot of people are afraid of change, and change can bring a lot of anxiety and fear and loss of identity. We have been doing this for so long, and are we ready to change? And when we have an expert like yourself who walks into an organization and says, right, you've been doing this, but now it's time to just throw out the old furniture. Is that what you do?
Not quite, but that would be nice if it was that easy. But yes, I mean, everyone is at different stages. And as you were saying, people have a fear of change. They don't like change at all. So it's understanding, 70% generally of the organisation perhaps are okay about the impending change. And so it's just a matter of proper engagement and communication and training. But there's usually about 10 to 20% that will be resistant, and then there's some early adopters that are really keen. I work on tailoring a program for mitigating that resistance and coaching them through that process. And a lot of it is, coming to an acceptance, but once they understand the new ways of working for them and the benefits and, watching other early adopters actually progress, then they realise, it's not quite as bad as I thought it was. So I think we all kind of sometimes over-exaggerate some change. We tend to make it bigger than what it really is. So it's about really tailoring that program to take them from today to the future state. So it is about people, letting go of that fear, but everyone has a different, relationship to whatever that change is. So you have to, really be where they're at, and then take them to that place.
And that's so important, to meet them at their level.
Yes.
And be understanding and appreciating where they're at, but then kind of gently, slowly, and, with a lot of support, nudging them.
That's right.
And then, So how do you manage that within yourself when you see people and they are, really saying, no, 10% is like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
How do you turn it around?
I usually work with the sponsor and their manager to understand what, the concerns are, because there's usually some background to it, and really understanding what the triggers are, to then help them understand, and take them on that journey. I also kind of influence through other stakeholders, that are, really engaging with that change, and organise separate meetings to try and influence them. As I was saying, I think the early advocates are the ones that really make them realise, oh, this is not so bad, right? So it's about working through those mechanisms, and usually the managers are aware of the concerns, and it could be just a lot of the time they're overwhelmed because they have so much to do, and this is just another piece of change. So what I also try to do is manage the change from a kind of holistic perspective. So thinking about the other changes that are going on in the organisation, and really understanding what is that compelling story, so that you can then thread all that change through the higher level of a strategy level. So that's really, really important to set the scene, so then they can see the bigger picture. Because, when you're an individual, you tend to just look in your microcosm, but that compelling story is really important. Yeah.
Beautiful. And how do you become a change manager? How does that happen? Do you just decide today I'm going to create change, and that's it?
I think in my early days, I used to look at how organisations were structured, and I always thought, wouldn't it be great to be able to help managers to do this better, because they were always under stress and didn't have the time to do that. And then one of my roles was with a consulting group where I was introduced to change management. I went, wow, this is really interesting. So, and that's how I got introduced to it. And then I did my grad dip and a master's, and I've been doing it ever since.
Beautiful. Now, you did your education at Cambridge, and
recently,
yes,
my grad course.
And then before that, you have your master's in education.
Yeah.
Now, is this education in terms of tertiary, secondary, or education is in change management education?
Yes, in change management. So, a lot of the solutions that we come up with are training orientated or education orientated. So, there's a huge aspect of that, and it's all about, the psychology of learning, understanding how people learn, and, building, that change on layers, so to speak. So, yeah.
And how long have you been doing this for?
Oh, about 30, 40 years now. Yeah, about 35 years.
When it's after 20, it's just
that's right.
A couple of decades, it's fine. And then, to be able to really understand change, you have to understand the field of non-change.
Yes.
That's eternal field. And you're also interested in philosophy and meditation, and that holistic approach that you said, that you have to look at the wholeness of a situation, and then see how these different little elements that are driven by individuals work to create that whole.
That's right.
And then once you have the holistic picture, then this is how we can steer the whole company towards change and creating more of that evolution.
Yeah.
So what brought you to philosophy and meditation? What was that? When did that happen?
I think it was the mid-1990s, and I just had this feeling there was more, that I wanted to know about. I was always kind of quite spiritual, and in the reading I came across TM.
How do you become spiritual? How do you find that you are spiritual?
Something innate. I just have always felt, I don't know, there's just something there that I can't really I can't explain. It's just this feeling of, being part of a bigger wholeness, the universe. Yeah. So, and then I kept reading and finally came across TM, and I went, yes, that sounds amazing. I just straight away, it just resonated to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I remember exactly when I read David Lynch saying, Transcendental Meditation is the source of my creativity. And then I did a double take, like, what did he say? And I read the word Transcendental Meditation, and it did something. Because I have done a lot of meditation already before learning TM. And I had tried everything, but nothing had stuck. And then this name just somehow, I was like, I want to know more. What was that for you? What was?
Yeah, I think it was the explanation of TM and the consciousness, and the integration of unity of yourself, the mind, body, and consciousness, and the science behind it. It touched on the science behind it, and I just went, wow, this is just exactly what I've been wanting to learn more about. That the universe and entirety. Yeah.
And then what happened?
So I found the local TM Centre, which was in South Yarra at the time, and the lovely Suzanne Edwards taught me the practice, and I was just blown away by the science. I was just like, wow, why isn't everyone doing this? So it was kind of like that immediate kind of feeling of, wow, this is just so incredible and such a simple and profound technique. Yeah. So I was just completely immersed at that point, and have done it ever since. Yeah.
So mid-90s to now mid-25. So you've done it only for a couple of decades again.
Yeah, that's right. And I think I actually, I realised I should be doing it twice a day about, I don't know, it must have been about 5 years ago. I think I kind of dropped off the 2 days to 1 day, sometimes 2 days, and then so I was kind of not doing it twice a day sometimes. And it was Rosalind who put me on to doing the Higher States of Consciousness course that I did with her around COVID time that made me realise, I should be doing this twice a day. What am I doing?
And then what has that done for your experiences? This practice of TM, having it under your belt for, some few years. What has it done in terms of your experiences and activity?
I think it's the clarity of myself. So just letting go of everything else. And it enables me to, when I come out of that transcendental meditation, I have a feel of calm and clarity, like I can think really clearly. It eliminates the stuff that you don't need in the day and helps you to focus really well and just, be yourself, there's a saying that says that to be yourself, you need to come out of what you're not. And I love that. I love that saying, and I think about that a lot. So it's about, that crystalness of yourself.
Yes. These beautiful expressions that give such direct glimpse of the experiences that one has. To be yourself, you have to come out of what you're not. And that's because everyone associates themselves with what their name is, what the color of their skin is, what they're wearing, how they earn their money. And these are the things that they're really not, because these are the changing values. The changing. I mean, the name perhaps is not changing because you have that. It's the most permanent thing that you have. But some people change their name because they don't resonate with that name, and so they're like, "Oh, I'm this now." But when we experience that self, the non-changing aspect, we realize that yes, there is something more eternal, and this reality would really, I would imagine, help you a lot in terms of your change management, of stepping back.
Totally, yeah.
And then seeing the bigger picture and not getting involved in the little aspects, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. It's paramount to be objective, as soon as you get into the weeds, then you get lost. Yeah.
Good.
Another acronym that you.
As soon as you get into the weeds, you get lost. Okay, this is a very good expression. I like it. I always deeply enjoy your expressions because they're just so fun and full of wisdom. And the other Vedic wisdom that is there is that, when you don't work the land, the weeds grow. And so the weeds are always growing because you are not taking full advantage of what you have.
Yeah.
And so in terms of the physiology, if we're not looking after the physiology, then disease and disorder come. With the mind, if we're not looking after it, then we have anxiety and depression. So it's really an understanding to look after what you have by doing something for your mind, like Transcendental Meditation, and having some physical exercises. And now, also feeding the soul with philosophy. You're also
I was just thinking
a lady of philosophy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I love it. And I started in COVID as well. COVID was kind of like a start of some things because we were so stuck in our houses. But and I'd always wanted to study philosophy as well. And found out about this Philosophy School of Australia. And I've been doing it for 5 years. It's just, we catch up once a week and we study Western and Eastern philosophy. And I was really amazed at just the parallels and the alignment to TM. And it just what you were saying then just rang some bells around, working on yourself is really important, And, so we study these, we have different themes every term, and we discuss it as a group, and we talk about how do we apply that in real life. So it's a lovely...
Do you find that you have a bit of a upper hand because you actually know how to apply all of these beautiful aphorisms?
I don't know if I can. I try to. And I think this is the thing, isn't it, with all of these amazing, this amazing knowledge, this wisdom, is that you have to practice it every day. It has to be part of you.
Don't you find that practicing TM, though, gives you this ability to experience some of those things that you
totally
are studying?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is the key. That is the, to me, the center point of all of this. And then the philosophy and the teachings, with the Bhagavad Gita, learning more about that, it just, you build that knowledge, and it just develops that wisdom even more so that you can live your life well.
And in terms of being a seeker, wanting to know that there is more, are you finding that you are accessing that more every day?
Totally. I can't get enough now. It's like more.
And it's just like that, when you dive deep within in that ocean of bliss, you just can't be done with one dive. You just want to keep diving in and deeper and deeper. Yeah. It's such an incredible experience. Like, I'm completely addicted to TM. I'm addicted. Like, I can't not do it,
Absolutely.
Any moment that I have, I'm like, okay, now is my TM time. I'm just going to sink. And then you just close your eyes and you're just in,
Absolutely.
And when you are studying philosophy or Vedic literature or this profound knowledge on all traditions, have these beautiful insights into the reality of life. When you are studying that, then it's enlivening that reality within you. And what I find with Transcendental Meditation is that then you're experiencing the self, which is the source of all knowledge. That's where all the knowledge comes from. So all of these enlightened sages of all this time have been able to access that reality within themselves and give expression to what they're experiencing within themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really important piece you've said there. The wisdom is within. Yeah, and a lot of us look out rather than in, Yeah.
Now, you're also deeply involved in the Rotary Passport program where you do a lot of humanitarian work. You support a lot of young people and help them develop, become leaders in their fields and in their countries. So tell us a little bit about that. What's that?
Yeah, so Rotary Passport Melbourne is it's part of the Rotary umbrella, but we're kind of like an online group, subsidiary, group that we focus on international issues. So we do a lot of work in Cambodia, Timor-Leste, PNG. And we kind of are a gateway, I guess, for people who want to be able to do work to help the people in these countries. So in one in particular, we have runs an NGO that looks after young people of Cambodia and provides, scholarships. So there are sponsors like myself that will sponsor students from year 11 through to end of university. So there's an NGO that we work with as part of our club, and they've doing extremely well. I think they're up to about 130 students that have been
Beautiful.
that have come through, and now they are becoming the leaders of Cambodia, and that's the beauty of this, is that they are going to be the leaders of Cambodia. We also get foundation grant funding for building infrastructure like water tanks, latrines within the rural schools, which where they don't have those amenities.
Beautiful.
We've done a number of those projects. So I find it extremely rewarding because it's so tangible,
Yes.
and we have the students that attend the meeting and their smiles and the appreciation are incredible.
Yes. This is really changing the country from within, empowering the young people of that country, because there's this idea that this country isn't doing what we feel they should be doing. So we're going to just go in and take over and disregard thousands of years of tradition that they have, the culture that they've built, the laws of nature that are lively within them. We're just going to disregard that. I mean, you're just going to plant this idea of how we should, they should run their country.
Still, unfortunately.
And it's still happening right now.
Yeah.
And that is a really unfortunate situation because we're not really caring about the people who live there. We don't really care about the country. We don't really care about the local economy. We're just imposing our idea on them. And what you're doing is so incredibly beautiful because you are empowering young people who don't have the means.
That's right,
to go through university in their own language, in their own field of interest, and then come out successful and then take a leadership role and take their country to the next step.
Exactly.
It's so incredibly fulfilling.
It is. Exactly.
Well done. Congratulations.
Better. Thank you.
It's so beautiful. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing this beautiful journey that you call life. Yes.
Thank you.
It's a very, very rich life that you're living, and it's our great joy to have you here. So thank you. We have a little gift for you.
Thank you. That's wonderful. I love these teas. Thank you.
They're from Maharshi Ayurveda. They have some beautiful teas there. They have all these other products as well.
I love the Vata.
Yes. We like, so we have different seasons right now, and now we're moving into Vata season. So, because it's a little bit windy and it's a little bit, so it's nice to just balance it all out.
Yep.
Okay,
thank you. Thanks so much,
My
Mustafa.
pleasure. And thank you for your company. It's been a great joy to have you here. Making sure that we are going to always subscribe and share the podcast with our family and friends. And I look forward to your company next week. Thank you very much.